The evolution was macro made all of the returns in very short periods of time in catastrophic markets. You know, a market like COVID was great for me because I know that playbook, right? You make a lot of returns very fast. But macro is becoming very difficult. There was a few macro opportunities that came since 2012, but not many. After the European debt crisis, what did we have? We had a collapse in the price of oil in 2016, 15.
Mm-hmm. Which you nailed. You nailed that, yeah.
Yeah, I got that really right.
Really right. Yeah, on CNBC, I remember that.
We had a decent rise in the dollar in the middle, and that was about it. But equities outperformed everything, and all the macro guys missed that trend.
Since the U.S. Federal Reserve shifted its stance on interest rates and signaled an upcoming policy pivot, discussions over the implications of this for the economy's future have sprung up throughout the financial community. Many analysts anticipate increased market volatility as a result of the Fed's activities, and some even forecast a possible recession. The CEO of Real Vision and former hedge fund manager, Raoul has a different opinion. He contends that the Fed's turn is an indication of adaptation to the quickly changing global economy, rather than a reason for concern. According to Powell's most recent research, this change may open up new financial market prospects, especially in the areas of digital assets and developing technology, even as traditional markets brace for uncertainty. He thinks that the combination of fiscal stimulus and technology innovation might drive the next phase of prosperity. In this video, we'll look at Raoul Pal's unique perspective on the Fed's recent policy shifts, what it implies for investors, and why, despite widespread economic fears, he is still bullish. Make sure to hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and like this video.
So generally speaking, as I said, crypto markets tend to go bananas. So that is, you know, we're talking currently the total market cap of crypto is about $2 trillion. By the end of this cycle, it'll be at 10 to 15 trillion. I mean, that's la land returns. I mean, but that's crypto. Crypto gives that kind of opportunity. The Nasdaq's been following this perfectly. So it just keeps going, whether we get another 20%, 50% upside in the Nasdaq, or it could be more. We don't know. You can't really tell. But the point being is the gains are huge. We'll also see commodities picking up. We'll also see, you know, we've seen precious metals picking up. We'll see all parts of the economy and the stocks picking up as the economy's growing. Inflation's not yet a problem, and the central banks are cutting rates and adding liquidity to finance their debts. That's utopia. That's what macro summer and macro fall. It's basically market utopia. There's a large group of people who want their justice. They want the system to fall apart, to say, I told you so. You're printing money. You're creating inflation. You're doing this. It's all unsustainable. And they don't want to see that what's actually happening, this 8% debasement, is basically all of us being charged 8% for a put option on the system, which is actually maybe not that bad, but they don't want to see it. And then a lot of people who aren't invested in technology can't stand the fact that it outperforms versus what was deemed to be the right way to invest, which was the value investor, the cyclical commodity, deep value, that thing. And that's not been working for 30 years, but yet they want it to come back. So they get more angry as markets go, and then they start drawing patterns about how it's going to crash. Well, markets, unlikely to crash unless it's further out the risk curve. But markets don't crash when the business cycle's picking up. They crash when the business cycle is slowing down. And let's say the ISM crosses 50. It never happens at this point of the cycle. So really, there's no real rational argument. And the Fed are cutting rates now. They're pushing liquidity into the system. The market's buoyant, and the ISM is going to start picking up. All the forward-looking indicators are. So it's really difficult to argue that there's a bubble and it's going to pop. And when we get to the bubble argument, something else they miss is they look at price earnings. And they say, see, price earnings keep going up there. It's getting wildly expensive. But price and earnings, if you remember the story of your earnings and house prices are always going up more than your earnings. Well, what is price earnings? It's the share price, which is driven by debasement, and corporate earnings, which are driven by GDP growth. So over time, as we add liquidity into the system, the everything code suggests that price earnings will keep going higher because of this dynamic. but people don't understand it. So they look to a world of the past. Now, this has actually all been done before. This is not a brand new thing. After World War II, this is what they did. They used yield curve control as a way of stimulating the economy, and they essentially grew their way out of it by refinancing the debts. And we had exactly the same 4-year cycle back from about 1948 to about 1968. So we had 20 years of it back then.
Raoul Pal is confident that more quantitative easing and money printing are on the way, with the next wave starting in about 10 weeks. In a recent post on X, he said, "I love the smell of more cowbell in the mornings," referring to the ongoing money printing cycle. He notes that markets typically lag behind global liquidity by around 10 weeks, and even the new stimulus from China hasn't fully hit the charts yet. This was even before today's big announcement. Pal is also confident that disruptive technologies will change the world in the years to come, including robotics, energy storage, and artificial intelligence. He believes that the global debt situation may be resolved through this technology revolution. According to him, central banks should simply keep creating money until productivity gains are realized. His bullish view on the world markets, especially cryptocurrencies, is fueled by this optimism. Let's explore some more of Raoul Pal's observations now.
The evolution was macro made all of the returns in very short periods of time in catastrophic markets. You know, a market like COVID was great for me because I know that playbook, right? You make a lot of returns very fast, but macro is becoming very difficult. There was a few macro opportunities that came since 2012, but not many. After the European debt crisis, what did we have? We had a collapse in the price of oil in 2015.
Which you nailed. You nailed that, yeah.
Yeah, I got that really right.
Really right. Yeah, on CNBC, I remember that.
We had a decent rise in the dollar in the middle, and that was about it. But equities outperformed everything, and all the macro guys missed that trend. And this was my work that I did over COVID when I started to think about debasement of currency, and then started to think about the exponential age of technology and where this is going. And you reach the moment, it's like, oh my God, this is all one thing. You know, we have rising markets that's creating more capital, that's flowing into technology, that's driving technology. We've got the fastest pace of technological change in all human history, and the central bank has taken out the big risks to the downside. So suddenly the data tells you to become an optimist. It tells you that we're in secular trends, particularly in tech and crypto. So even though they're volatile, every low is higher than the last. And when you look back, they've outperformed everything. Even though you've had that volatility and you're like, why was I so stupid? You know, really, I could have just bought NASDAQ when I started my career and I'd have done much better. But the narrative is so alluring around the macro collapse. And the fear keeps so many people out of markets. And there's a whole bunch of people on X who've made a whole living out of the fear of collapse. And I know you've been caught up in that in the past. And that fear of collapse stops you investing. It stops you buying a house. And look what happened. Your future self did not thank you, your past self, because you missed it all. And I've done that. You know, I didn't own equities at all. And when I look back, you're like, what, stupid. But I didn't really understand. I didn't really understand what I know today. And now we've got all of these forces working together, this hyper acceleration of technology, global central bank liquidity that's forcing stuff up over time. And then the fact that they've taken away the largest side of the risk of markets, and the inflation bogeyman is just a bogeyman. He just exists in the dark places of your mind because it's very difficult to generate inflation in this world. They will tell you that, well, now the latest story is, well, obviously, you know, every year there's a different story why energy is going to go to $200 a barrel, why it's all going to come to shit, and why inflation's coming back. Every year is a different narrative. Now it's like, well, it's the AI data centers. We're going to run out of electricity. It's going to be infinite demand for power. And oh my God, this is the most inflationary thing. They'll be wrong again, as they've been every single time.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with another video. In this video I have discussed how the Raoul has discuss about Bitcoin. I have take a video for you in which Raoul has talking about Bitcoin, present market cap, price and price volatility, everything. Guys, if you like this type of Bitcoin related videos, then you can subscribe my channel and watch every video, because I regularly upload this type of Bitcoin related content which are described by legends. And so guys, if other also if you like this type of gaming video, then also you can subscribe my channel, because I played this type of game daily and upload in my channel. So I hope all of guys are enjoyed today's video in Bitcoin chapter and gaming also. If you really like this type of content, then subscribe and be part of my YouTube channel. I'll be grateful to you who are subscribing my channel.
I need a weapon.
In this game, I have
Help!
get a shotgun, get two shotgun, because it's a
I need a
shotgunable
weapon.
game. There is no any gun or other, only shotgun available in this match. So guys, if you like Bitcoin related content, you should subscribe my channel.
Help!
I daily upload this type of gaming video. The number 3 teammate also knockouts and finishes someone. Only my number 1 teammate is still. Thank you guys for watching until the end. I will be back with another brand new video, so please subscribe my channel and keep watching my videos. Thank you once again.